So number one is to obviously spend less money. And we're going to talk about 5 things that you can do to spend less money. Number one, you can think twice before making any expense. Do not spend on anything as an impulse. So if you see something on, let's say, Facebook, that sounds like a great course or whatever, or if someone tells you, hey, buy this service or anything that looks like it's going to solve your problem or whatever, before you make any decision, sleep on it, right? And you can sleep on it for a day, a week, a month, doesn't matter. But basically, teach yourself to delay, right, any purchase decision, even if it's important. At least one day, sleep on it, think about it, right, and see where you go from there the next day or the next week, okay? Number two, I've taken this lesson from my wife. The way I operate is I like to just move, get the ball rolling, right? And sometimes people that work with me take that as, I'm a little bit easygoing. Like they just say something and I say, okay, sure, let's do it, right? Like I don't consider it seriously. That's false. What I actually want is I want progress. I want momentum. I want someone to come up with a good idea. We think about that good idea. We think about pluses, cons, and so on. We maybe discuss it for 30 minutes and then we get going. Because 90% is execution. It's just 10% is the plan, because plans always shift, priorities always shift, and so on. So let's execute, let's move. However, when it comes to finances, again, my wife is very good on this. I'll give you just one example. Recently, we own a piece of property in the center of a city where we are. And it's in a little area with multiple other houses and so on. And we wanted to change how pipes go, how water goes, and so on and so forth. It was a project. I don't deal with this stuff. I don't like it. My wife loves it. She's into real estate or things like that. So she was at the time pregnant and she couldn't move. Or she could move, but she didn't want to deal with this. So I talked to someone, a contractor that came and told us, what they're going to do, how much it's going to cost, and so on. I went back to her and I was very excited because the guy obviously knew what he was talking about. And let's say he was charging whatever, $1,000. It didn't sound like much to me. It sounded like they're going to spend several days doing it. They're going to use their own materials, right? Like I was almost their ambassador to my wife. And my wife's like, why would we pay them $1,000? That's too much. What do you mean it's too much? It sounds very reasonable. The reality is that neither of us knew what the market rates were. So what she did, she said, that doesn't sound right to me. Let me talk to a few other people. And she literally did that. She talked to 2 other contractors, got both of them on the scene, got quotes from both of them, and we got the entire thing done for $500. Less than half of what I was just pleasantly gonna pay, just so it's off of my table. I don't need to think about it. Oh, it's $1,000, here you go. So she literally just saved $500 from making 2 additional phone calls and maybe 2 hours. So in 2 hours of effort, she saved $500. That puts her time at $250 an hour for that effort, because that's how much money she saved our family, right? And so you should do this in business as well. Again, I learned this from her, and I haven't been doing this in the past, but I started doing it after she taught me how to do this. It's literally just questioning every quote you get. So whenever you get the quote, you say, okay, perfect, that's one quote. Let me talk to 2 other vendors that seem to be of equal competence to you. And this might actually be the best quote I get, or this might be the best offer. But because I get multiple offers, I can now check and negotiate in between them. And we can basically get a better outcome as a result of maybe 2 or 3 extra hours of effort. Moving on from there, I highly recommend delaying all non-essential purchases. For example, let's say you have, I'm going to give a very weird example, but I want to give the point across. Let's say you have a gym membership and it's not a monthly recurring, it's something you pay month to month or whatever, something like that. That's how I have it. I have almost nothing on recurring. I don't like being billed recurring whether I use a service or not. So what I do is I pay for 1 month in the gym, and then I go to the gym, and on the last day of the gym, typically I go. And then 5 days, I don't go, because I don't go for, maybe 2 days, 3 days, 5 days, however much. But that's time I win. And then the next time I go, I sign up again for the next month. What ends up happening is during the course of an entire year, I kid you not, I go a full year to the gym and I only pay 10 to 11 months of gym membership because those 5 days at a time add up. Imagine they add up 10 times. That's 50 days a year where I wouldn't have gone to the gym either way and I'm not paying for the subscription, right? And so like that, you can do it with almost everything. Let's say, for example, you're going on a holiday or something like that. You can cancel your Netflix subscription, or you can cancel whatever tools you use to, let's say, track things. If you don't want to track them when you're on vacation, you stop those for a week or two. You save 2 weeks of payments and then you get that back when you come back to work. You just reactivate them and you're all fine. So this obviously, this one specific thing you can do with everything. However, you can do certain things. For example, let's say you have a party that you want to go out to. Instead of having the party now or like a business event, you can have that business event later. You can postpone it by a week, right? Basically, this is us inviting you. The action step here is obvious. Learn to delay spending money. Anything that's non-essential, learn to delay it. And ask yourself the question, basically become that person that always asks, do we need to spend this now? Or can we delay this by a week, a month, 2 months? Or what can we do? Like delay spending money, basically, right? Number 4 is spend as much time searching for interest-free payment options for everything that you need. For example, I don't believe in buying phones at full price anymore. Only maybe if they have like huge discounts and sales and you can get a $1,000 phone for $500. Yes, okay, fine, maybe then. However, in the vast majority of cases, if you go to the telecoms provider that you are subscribed to, you can get a phone for almost free. Like you literally you commit to being subscribed with them for another 2 years and they give you a free phone, or almost free. You pay maybe $5 or $10 extra a month, right? Or things like that. You need to do your due diligence, obviously. At the same time, when you buy a laptop, there are so many services online where you can buy the laptop, let's say for, again, $1,000, or you can get 12 interest-free payments on that $1,000. So you end up paying like $85 a month, and then you get the laptop today. You pay $85 today, you get the laptop today, and then next month you pay another $85 and so on and so forth until the end of the year. And then by the end of the year, you would have paid that $1,000, but then you've made use of that laptop for 1 full year. And these things matter. So whenever you have a chance of buying objects in general, anything that you need in business or personal life or cars or whatever, look at interest-free rates. Cars is a bit tricky because there's maybe, I don't know if there's such a thing as interest-free, but with items like laptops, phones, or anything online, typically you can get interest-free rates or with very, very small interest, maybe like 2% a year. And it doesn't matter because instead of $1,000 for the laptop, you pay $1,020. But you saved $1,000 for the vast majority of the year, right? And you can so easily make $85 back per month, right? If you're in any business. So the laptop pays for itself from the very first month, right? And so this is how cash flow works. Like you spend less, you delay payments, and then we're going to talk about making more in a second. I'm just going to give you the fifth example on what you can do to spend less. And that is to never buy off-the-shelf prices. So if someone comes to you, an agency, and you want to work with them, let's say they do SEO, and let's say it's whatever, $3,000 a month. And let's say you do what we recommended and get 3 others. And let's say the second agency is 4,000 and the third agency is 5,000, and they'll do pretty much the same thing, like service and quality are the same. So you would obviously go with the $3,000 one. However, you hop on a call with them and say, hey, I want to do this. However, I want to do this for $2,700, whatever, 10% less. And so they might say no, either it's 3,000, take it or leave it, whatever. However, what you need to do is you need to practice negotiating off-the-shelf pricing. anything that's off the shelf, like, hey, this is $3,000, $2,000, whatever it is, for both services and products. Practice negotiation, practice getting better deals. We have people, for example, that we work with within construction and real estate development and so on, that have negotiated 6% discounts on materials that they buy in bulk, right? And so you might say, oh, 6%, that's nothing. Guess what? For them, it's more than $1 million in savings per year. So that's $1 million I'm not giving to the person I'm buying, you know, the wood and the cement and so on and so forth. So for them, it's maybe $1 million in loss, but it's not because now we're buying from them and no one else, because they gave us a 6% discount, right? It's the same wood, it's basically the same, it's nothing different. However, here it's $1,000 worth of wood, here it's $940 worth of wood, right? Or sorry, it's $1,000 worth of wood for the price of $940. And so that basically adds up in time. So they practice and practice and practice negotiation, and even on small increments, those increments add up, and then you'll have more and more and more cash.